Hey guys, before we get started, just a quick reminder that if you head over to my website, you can start a relationship with your favorite deep tissue body butter, and you can even get yourself this cool t-shirt. Today we're diving into the hamstrings, and the first thing I want to say about the hamstrings is that most people think they have 3 bellies, and I think they have 4. So we're going to explore that a little bit, but first I'm going to start by painting the bones. And the main bones I'm painting are the pelvis, the posterior pelvis, the femur, which is the biggest bone in the body, and then the tibia and the fibula. The hamstrings come down and cross over both the hip and the knee joints, and therefore affect both what the hip and the knee do. As I hammer out the detail of the bones, I want to mention a few fun facts about the hamstrings. About 80% of people who suffer from low back pain, that back pain comes from tight hamstrings. Tight hamstrings are most commonly found in men, more so than women, but that pull on the ischial tuberosity, also known as our sits bones, pulls the pelvis into a posterior tilt, and you know the story of the kinetic chain of events. This is what creates low back pain. I'm painting the short head of the biceps femoris right now, and the biceps femoris is the more lateral of the hamstring tendons, but right here is where I would argue that the hamstrings have 4 muscle bellies and not 3. The long head of the biceps femoris obviously comes right over this and is named such because it's longer, but that's the biceps femoris on the lateral side, and then on the medial side we've got the semisisters, and those are 2 separate muscle bellies as well. So all in all, 4 muscle bellies, don't you agree? I'm starting in with the white, which indicates connective tissue and its attachment sites, and right here is where you can see the difference between the semitendinosus and the semimembranosus. Both of these muscles come around to the medial side of the knee, and the difference is that the semitendinosus comes and wraps around to the front and becomes part of the pes anserinus tendon, while the semimembranosus, which is deeper, stays on the back and attaches to the posterior part of the medial condyle of the tibia. I think the most important piece of advice I want to offer from a massage therapist perspective is that these infamously tight muscles are often the source of a lot of low back and pelvic pain, and if we can dive in with detail in the work that we can do, we can resolve a lot of chronic issues. Here's a closer look. You can see in a little more detail here that origin at the ischial tuberosity, how the semisisters both wrap around to the medial side of the knee, and how the biceps femoris comes down and attaches right onto the head of the fibula. And when these babies contract, they flex the knee, and at the hip, they extend the hip. My model here was really good about this. She really lifted her leg up. And they also pull the pelvis down into posterior tilt like I was talking about before. So you can see here with more detail how as they pull the pelvis down, it creates a tug of war on the pelvis itself between the hamstrings and the low back muscles. The last action the hamstrings have was a little harder to film, but as the knee is flexed, the biceps femoris pulls the flexed knee into a lateral rotation, and the semisisters both pull the flexed knee into a medial rotation. And those are your 4 bellies of the hamstrings. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Please check out my website, and I got more cool stuff coming soon, so keep an eye out.